Hello dear children, how are you all? I hope all are fine. Stay home, stay safe. In this class I am going to discuss about very important chapter as well as theory point of view as well as commutative point of view, vector algebra. And in this class we are going to discuss about commutative class, CET or JEE. So we are going to discuss about the synopsis. Just observe dear children. Vector means a physical quantity which has both magnitude as well as direction. A physical quantity which has both magnitude as well as direction. What about scalar? Scalar means which has only magnitude. So when it comes to mathematical form, vector can be represented by, first we will go with the representation of the vector. Vector can be represented by directed line segment. So this is the line segment. This is the point A, this is the point B. So it is direction, means we have to represent the arrow mark that represent the direction. It is directed from where to where? A to B. It is directed from A to B. So this is called vector AB. So how to represent this one? Vector AB. This is the notation. This is denoted by vector AB, denoted by AB, where A is initial point and B is called terminal point. Mele arrow mark baribeku. This is the representation of vector AB. And what about magnitude? So magnitude is nothing but the length of line segment. So length from or distance from A to B, the initial point to terminal point, this is called magnitude. Representation here, modulus of AB. So this represent the magnitude of vector AB. This is the representation of vector. Next we are going to discuss about types of vectors. Types of vectors. First and foremost is zero vector. A vector whose magnitude is 0 is called zero vector. Whose magnitude is 0 means here the length of line segment is 0, distance 0 aitandre initial point as well as the terminal point, so both are same. So this is AA. This is zero vector here. So we have a special notation for this one. This is the notation for zero vector. Second one, so zero vector is also called null vector whose magnitude is 0. Next one, equal vectors. Two or more vectors are said to be equal if they have the same direction as well as same magnitude. Has the same direction as well as same magnitude is called equal vectors. Third one, collinear vectors. Two or more vectors are said to be collinear if they are parallel to the same line. If they are parallel to the same line is called collinear vectors. Suppose vector A and vector B are collinear, and we have the very important condition. Vector A can be represented as some scalar multiple of vector B. Vector A is equal to lambda into vector B, or vector B is equal to some lambda into vector A. This is the condition for when two vectors, vector A and vector B are collinear. So one can be expressed as scalar multiple of other vector, and second vector, vector B can be represented as scalar multiple of first vector. This is the collinear vector. Next one we have fourth one, coplanar vectors. Coplanar means two or more vectors are said to be coplanar if they lies on the same plane. If they lies on the same plane. Fifth one, co-initial vector. Now word observe, just observe the word co-initial. So they have the same initial point. Two or more vectors are said to be co-initial vectors if they have the same initial point. If they have the same initial point. And next one, sixth one, negative vector. So negative vector just having the opposite sign. Suppose vector AB is the given vector and the negative vector of AB having the same magnitude but in opposite direction. So this is your vector BA. So initial point and terminal point exchange agutte, or this is also can be represented as minus of vector AB. This is the negative of another type of vector, that is called unit vector. Just observe the word unit, it means one. Unit vector means a vector whose magnitude is 1. A vector whose magnitude is 1. Suppose A is a vector, then unit vector of vector A in the direction of vector A. Unit vector in the direction of vector A is denoted by A cap is equal to, this can be defined as, this is a vector A divided by magnitude of vector A. Vector A divided by magnitude of vector A. So that represents unit vector in the direction of what? Vector A. And observe here. So vector or A cap is equal to vector A divided by magnitude of vector A. So this can be written as vector A is equal to, vector A is equal to, take the cross multiplication, magnitude of vector A into A cap agutte. Magnitude of vector A into A cap. Just observe here. So vector means having both magnitude as well as the direction. Magnitude as well as the direction. So obviously this represents the magnitude, means what about this one? That represents the direction. Clear matla? So unit vector, whatever A cap, that represents the direction. Okay. I will take another one. Suppose ilada ಒಂದು vector B ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, whose magnitude is 7 unit and vector B in the direction of vector A andre just here A into, sorry, 7 into A cap. Vector B is equal to 7 into A cap. 7 represents the magnitude and A cap represents the direction of the vector B. These are the different types of vectors. So next we are going to discuss about a very important topic, direction ratios and direction cosines. And these two topics are very important. Direction ratios, simply this is called as DCS and DRS. Direction cosines and direction ratios. Just observe here. Here we have the three-dimensional geometry. This is the point P, x comma y comma z. So this is the horizon, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. The vector OP, whose initial point O and the terminal point P, is called vector OP, and this is called position vector of the point P. Position vector of the point P. Okay, this here vector OP. So whether special notation for vector OP is equal to vector R. So what about corresponding components? So what, just observe here, I cap is the unit vector in the direction of x-axis and j cap is the unit vector in the direction of y-axis, and what we have here, k cap is the unit vector in the direction of what? Z-axis. Therefore vector OP or position vector of the point P is vector OP is equal to vector R. So this can be written as x into I cap plus y into j cap plus z into k cap. So this represents the position vector of the point P, whose the points are x comma y comma z. Point is x comma y comma z. So vector R is equal to x into I cap plus y into j cap plus z into k cap. And so what about magnitude then? Magnitude of vector R or mod of vector R is equal to, so this is the distance of the point P from the horizon, or length of the line segment OP. This is nothing but square root of x square plus y square plus z square. Root of x square plus y square plus z square. So that represents the magnitude of vector R. Now come to the point, direction cosines and direction ratios. So before going to discuss about direction cosines, we would like to discuss about direction angles. So here we have the vector OP which makes an angle alpha with positive direction of x-axis, beta with positive direction of y-axis, and gamma with positive direction of z-axis. So they are called direction angles. Therefore alpha, beta and gamma are called direction angles. They are called direction angles. Okay. If I take cos for these angles, cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma, so they are called direction cosines. Remember the word direction cosines, DCS. Okay. So we have a special notation for this one. Cos alpha denoted by L, and this will be M, and this is N. And we have the beautiful relationship between direction cosines are L square plus M square plus N square is equal to what? 1. This is clear here. L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. And just remember, what about direction ratios then? The number which are proportional to, the numbers which are proportional to direction cosines, they are called direction ratios. L divided by A is equal to M divided by B is equal to N divided by C is equal to some lambda. Here A, B and C are called direction ratios. L, M and N are called direction cosines. Direction cosines and direction ratios. And observe here, so whenever we have the vector R is equal to x into I cap plus y into j cap plus z into k cap. Here x, y, z, they represent the scalar component of the vector. That represent scalar component, and x into I cap, y into j cap and z into k cap represent vector component of the vector R. They represent vector component of the vector R. So therefore x, y, z, they represent a scalar component. They are nothing but direction ratios. In any vector, the scalar component of the vector represent direction ratios, and scalar component of the unit vector, they represent direction cosines. So when they given the vector, how to find the direction ratios and direction cosines? Direction ratios are nothing but they are the scalar component of the vector, and the scalar component of the unit vector, they represent direction cosines. Now dear students, we are moving to the next concept, vector joining 2 points. Okay. Suppose we have the point A of x1 comma y1 comma z1 and another point B of x2 comma y2 comma z2. x2 comma y2 comma z2. Okay. Observe here. So vector joining of these 2 points represent vector AB is equal to. So generally what were the formula? Position of vector at a terminal point minus position of vector at initial point. Position of vector at a terminal point is vector OB minus position of vector at initial point vector OA. So this is nothing but x2 into I cap plus y2 into j cap plus z2 into k cap minus vector OA is position vector of the point A. Vector OA is equal to x1 into I cap plus y1 into j cap plus z1 into k cap. So this becomes x2 minus x1 into I cap plus y2 minus y1 into j cap plus z2 minus z1 into k cap. This is a method. So this is called vector joining 2 points. Vector AB is equal to x2 minus x1 into I cap plus y2 minus y1 into j cap plus z2 minus z1 into k cap. This is the vector joining 2 points. Now dear students, we are going to discuss about addition of vectors. How to add 2 vectors? Just observe here. We are going to discuss about very important theorem, triangular law of addition of vector. We follow this theorem, triangular law of addition of vectors. Suppose this is the point A, this is the point B, this is the point C. From A to B we have vector A, from B to C this is vector B. So basically we are in the at the point A. We are moving from A to B then B to C. We are moving from A to B then B to C. So net displacement ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ that from A to C. This is from A to C. Then how to find A to C? So A vector AC is equal to, first we are moving from A to B, right? This becomes vector AB plus vector BC, right? Vector BC. Just observe here. So here vector AC is equal to AB plus BC aitu. So it means the terminal point of the first vector and initial point of the second vector there must be same. They are coincident. Then only we are adding two vectors. Vector AC is equal to vector AB plus BC means AB represent here vector A plus this is here vector B. This is the sum of two vector. Vector AC is equal to vector A plus vector B. This is sum of two vectors using the triangular law of addition of vectors. Vector AC is equal to vector A plus vector B. Next, so when they given in component form, how to find the addition or difference of two vectors or else scalar multiple of the vector? Observe here. So here we have vector A is equal to, I will write in component form, A1 into I cap plus A2 into J cap plus A3 into K cap, and vector B is equal to B1 into I cap plus B2 into J cap plus B3 into K cap. Just observe here, A1, A2, A3, they are the scalar component of vector A, and A1 into I cap, A2 into J cap and A3 into K cap, they represent direction, what? They are the vector component of vector A. Or else A1, A2, A3 are the direction ratios, and suppose A cap is equal to A vector A divided by magnitude of vector A. This is equal to A1 divided by magnitude of vector A into I cap plus A2 divided by magnitude of vector A into J cap plus A3 divided by magnitude of vector A into K cap. Here the scalar component of the unit vector, what we are, A1 divided by magnitude of vector A, A2 divided by magnitude of vector A and A3 divided by magnitude of vector A, they represent direction, what? Cosines. The scalar component of the unit vector represent direction cosines, and the scalar component of the given vector represent direction ratios. Okay. First we have to find for vector A plus B. Vector A plus B, we have to add vector A as well as vector B. So first write vector A. This is A1 into I cap plus A2J plus A3K plus B1 into I cap plus B2J plus B3K. So while we are adding two vectors, just remember here we have to go with component to component, I to I, J to J as well as K to K. That becomes A1 plus B1 into I cap plus A2 plus B2 into J cap plus A3 plus B3 into K cap. This represent vector A plus B. Vector A plus B is equal to A1 plus B1 into I cap plus A2 plus B2 into J cap plus A3 plus B3 into K cap. Similarly, when we are finding the difference of two vectors, vector A minus vector B, in that case, so just plus is replaced by minus. So A minus B becomes vector A minus vector B is equal to A1 minus B1 into I cap plus this here vector A minus vector B is equal to, follow the same thing, this is replaced by minus sign. So therefore that becomes A1 minus B1 into I cap plus A2 minus B2 into J cap plus A3 minus B3 into K cap. So this represent difference of two vectors. And we are going to discuss about the last topic in this is lambda into vector A. Suppose if I multiply the vector by some scalar lambda, so what about the result here? This becomes lambda into A1 into I cap plus lambda into a2 into j cap plus lambda into a3 into k cap. It's a concept. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ಸ್ಕೇಲರ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್. Scalar multiplication of vector or multiplication of vector by a scalar quantity lambda. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? Next we are going to discuss about very important one, section formula. So this is the point O, this is the point Q, this is the point P, and here we have the point R. Here point R which divides the line segment joining the points P and Q in the ratio m:n. m:n. So position vector of the point P is A, this will be R, this will be B. Then vector OR which divide in the ratio m:n, that becomes m into vector B plus n into vector A divided by m plus n, divided by m plus n, or else this is m into, what is vector B here? This is the vector OQ plus n into vector OP divided by m plus n. This is here vector OR, or you can write here OR. This is the section formula. So when they divide it internally in the ratio m:n. Suppose, so the same thing, external division means we go with negative sign, that becomes m into vector OQ minus n into vector OP divided by m minus n. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? This is section formula. Next we are going to discuss about a very important one, product of two vectors. Product of two vectors. So basically we have two types of product here. One is scalar product. Scalar product is also called dot product, and another one is vector product or cross product. Here dot product or scalar product, and here we have vector product or cross product. Suppose we have the two vectors, vector A and vector B. Vector A and vector B. The dot product or scalar product is denoted by vector A dot vector B, and is defined as vector A dot B is equal to magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B into cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector A and vector B, and theta is varies from 0 less than theta less than or equal to pi. And another one, for the same thing, definition of vector nodi word helutte, vector means the resultant quantity is vector. So whereas in the dot product the resultant quantity is what? Scalar. That's why it is called scalar product, that is called vector product. This is here denoted by vector A cross B is equal to magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B into n cap into sin theta. Here also theta is varies from 0 to pi. This is the definition of dot product, that is the definition of vector product. So first we will observe the properties here. First one, when theta is equal to 0, just observe here, when theta is equal to 0, the angle between vector A and vector B is 0. Cos 0 becomes 1. Therefore vector A dot vector B becomes just magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B. In particular, suppose we have to find here vector A dot vector A is equal to, this becomes magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector A, that is nothing but magnitude of vector A whole square. A dot A is equal to magnitude of vector A whole square. So when it comes to here, when theta is equal to 0, when theta is equal to 0 means here vectors are parallel or they are collinear. In both the cases, when theta is equal to 0, either they are parallel or collinear. When they are parallel or collinear, Substitute theta is equal to 0 here. Sin 0 becomes 0. 0 into anything is 0. So what will left there? A cross B is equal to 0. When two vectors are collinear or they are parallel, A cross B becomes 0. In particular, A cross vector A is equal to 0. A cross A is equal to 0. Okay. When theta is equal to pi by 2. When theta is equal to pi by 2 means the angle between vector A and vector B are pi by 2. They are nothing but perpendicular. When two vectors are perpendicular, cos of 90 becomes 0. 0 into anything is 0. So what will left there here? Vector A dot B becomes 0. Just remember, this is a very important condition. Whenever two vectors are perpendicular to each other, the necessary and sufficient condition is their dot product is equal to 0. When comes to here, theta is equal to pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 is 1. A cross B becomes vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B into what? N cap. Because sin pi by 2 becomes 1. When theta is equal to pi, this becomes vector A dot B is equal to minus of vector A, sorry, magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B, because cos of pi becomes minus 1. Cos of pi is equal to minus 1. Similarly, when theta is equal to pi, this becomes vector A cross B is equal to 0, because sin pi is equal to 0. 0 and anything is 0. This is the case here. When theta is equal to 0, theta is equal to pi by 2 and theta is equal to pi. And we have next one. Second condition, when it comes to unit vector, I dot I is equal to J dot J is equal to K dot K, that is equal to what? 1. I dot I is 1, J dot J 1, K dot K is equal to 1. If I go with another vector, I dot J, so I is the unit vector in the direction of x axis, J is the unit vector in the direction of y axis. So they are perpendicular to each other means their dot product is 0. Similarly, J dot K, that is also 0. Similarly, K dot I, that is also 0. This is the case. And next one, for here in vector product, I cross I is equal to 0, because the angle between them is 0. Sin 0 becomes 0, is equal to J cross J is equal to K cross K. And I forgot one concept. In a dot product or scalar product satisfies commutative property. It means A dot B also can be written as B dot A. So both are same here. A dot B is equal to B dot A. When it comes to cross product, this is not satisfies here. So A cross B is not equal to B cross A, but A cross B is equal to minus of vector B cross A. Opposite sign agutte, minus. So here I cross I is equal to 0, J cross J is equal to 0 and K cross K is equal to 0. If I take the cyclic order, I cross J is equal to vector K. So what cross product represent? When we have the vector A and B, their cross product represent the vector perpendicular to both vector A as well as vector B. That is n cap ideyalla, n cap represent the unit vector perpendicular to both vector A as well as vector B. Then this is here, J cross K becomes I and K cross I becomes J cap. If I reverse this one, that is replaced by opposite vector, negative vector. So this is J cross I becomes minus K, K cross J becomes minus I, and I cross K becomes minus J. This is the concept. Okay, these are the important concept, and we are moving to the third one. How to find the angle between two vectors using dot product. We have the very important formula. Cos theta is equal to vector A dot vector b divided by magnitude of vector a into magnitude of vector b. That's it. Cos it is equal to vector a dot b divided by mod a into mod b, or magnitude of vector a into magnitude of vector b. Just observe here, cos is equal to a dot b. Here theta is very sum 0 to pi. Suppose if you want to find the acute angle between vector a and vector b, in that case we have to take modulus. That's it. Take the modulus, because acute angle means here theta varies from 0 to 90 degree. It lies in first quadrant. In first quadrant all trigonometric functions are positive. Similarly, when it comes to here we are finding sin theta. So sin theta is equal to, this is the magnitude of vector a cross b divided by magnitude of vector a into magnitude of vector b. There is a formula to find the angle between vector a as well as vector b. Take a pause and note on all the things what are written here. Now dear students, we are moving to the application of dot product and application of cross product or vector product. So what are the application of dot product? This is used to find the projection. So projection of vector a and vector b is just vector a dot b divided by magnitude of vector b. To find the projection of vector a and vector b, we are going to use the dot product a dot b divided by magnitude of vector b. And so in case of vector, so when vector a as well as vector b are the two adjacent sides of a triangle. This is, we have the triangle where vector a and vector b are the two adjacent sides of the triangle. Then area of triangle becomes 1 by 2 times of modulus of vector a cross b, or magnitude of vector a cross b. This is application of vector product. And another one, when these two vectors, vector a as well as vector b, represent the adjacent sides of the parallelogram, they represent adjacent sides of the parallelogram. In that case, the area of parallelogram becomes just vector a cross b, magnitude of vector a cross b. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? Magnitude of vector a cross b represent the area of the parallelogram. Just 1 by 2 times of mod of a cross b represent area of the triangle whenever vector a and vector b are the two adjacent sides of the triangle for 1 by 2 parallelogram for just mod of a cross b. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? This is the difference between vector product and dot product. Next we are going to discuss about the last topic, scalar triple product. Scalar triple product. Scalar triple product. Suppose when we have the three vectors, vector a, vector b as well as vector c. Vector a, vector b and vector c, the scalar triple product of vector abc is denoted by vector a dot b cross c. Vector a dot b cross c. Vector a dot b cross c is equal to, this is the determinant of order 3 cross 3. First row is followed by the component of vector a, scalar component, and the second row is followed by the scalar component of the second vector, and the third row is followed by scalar component of the third vector. This is here, this is the a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. Is a case here. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ a dot b cross c is equal to a1, a2, a3, where a1, a2, a3 are the scalar component of the first vector. Suppose ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ a is equal to A1 into I cap plus A2 into j cap plus A3 into k cap, and vector B is equal to B1 into I cap plus B2 into j cap plus B3 into k cap, and vector C is equal to C1 into I cap plus C2 into j cap plus C3 into k cap. When these, if I want to find the scalar triple product of these three vectors, means here vector A dot B cross C is equal to, this is the determinant of order 3 cross 3. First row is followed by the scalar component of the first vector, that is vector A. Second row is followed by scalar component of the second vector. Third row is followed by scalar component of the third vector. This is the concept. Okay, next observe here. So the very important topics in scalar triple product. Vector A dot B cross C, this also can be written as, if you go with a cyclic order, A after B then C, this becomes vector B dot C cross A, and this will be equal to C dot vector A cross B, vector A cross B. Suppose if I want to interchange these two, so this can be written as minus vector A dot C cross B, because A cross B is not equal to B cross A, but A cross B is equal to minus of B cross C. Just interchange these two quantities. Similarly for this one, this can be written as minus vector B dot A cross C. This is also minus vector C dot B cross A. These are the different forms. Okay, next one, we'll observe one. Any one of the vector is repeated here. Suppose B repeats 2 times. If any one of the vector is repeated, then their scalar triple product becomes 0. It means, notice, vector A dot vector A cross B is equal to 0 because A repeats 2 times here. Suppose this is a vector A dot, this here B cross B, that is also 0. Any one of the vector is repeated, then their scalar triple product becomes 0. Scalar triple product becomes 0. So we have another notation to represent the scalar triple product is, this is also called box product. Vector A comma vector B comma vector C. Vector A comma vector B comma vector C, that represent scalar triple product. Vector A dot vector A comma B comma C, right in the box. This is also called box product. And we have the application of scalar triple product. Scalar triple product is whenever vector A and vector B and vector C are represent the co-terminal sides of a parallelogram. Actually here we have parallelepiped. So this is the parallelepiped. So this is here vector A, this will be vector B, and this will be vector C. Then volume of this parallelepiped becomes just a scalar triple product of these three vectors. When A, B, C are the 3 terminal sides of the parallelepiped, then volume becomes scalar triple product of vector A, B and C. This is clear here. This is the parallelepiped. And we have another one, tetrahedron. Tetrahedron. Similar here also, volume of tetrahedron becomes 1/6 times of scalar triple product. 1/6 times of scalar triple product. This is the synopsis of vector algebra. Next we are going to discuss about problems on vector algebra. Nowadays students, we are going to discuss about some important problems and their depends on basics concepts. Okay, first problem, if a line lies in the octant OXYZ and it makes equal angles with the axis, then ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, if a line lies in the octant xyz and it makes equal angle with the axis. Equal angle with the axis means here their direction angles alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma. Then so once alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, cos alpha is equal to cos beta is equal to cos gamma ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, right? Then this is nothing but L is equal to M is equal to N. It means direction cosines are equal. Then we need to find the condition. So we have the condition here, L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1 ಇದೆ. Therefore L square plus M is replaced by L, so L square plus this is also L square is equal to 1. L square is equal to 3L square is equal to 1. What about L square then? 1 by 3. What about L then? Plus or minus 1 by 3. Actually plus or minus 1 by 3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, but so what they given here, octant x o x y z means order positive, that's why we have L is equal to 1 by root 3. L is equal to 1 by root 3. So here we have L is equal to M is equal to N is equal to 1 divided by root 3. L is equal to M is equal to N is equal to 1 by root 3. This is the option A. The right answer is option A. ನೋಡಿ, ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಾಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. Okay, next I am going to discuss about next question. So here they given the diagram. Study the given parallelogram and answer the following questions. So here we have the parallelogram. This is A, B, C and D. Vector BA ಇದೆ, here vector A, vector CB is vector B, vector DC is vector C and vector DA is vector A, vector D and vector CA ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೆ M ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡು ನೋಡೋಣ, which of the following represent equal vectors. So equal vectors means, just remember, equal vectors means having both same direction, having the same direction as well as same magnitude. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ DC as well as AB equal ಇದೆ, but they are in opposite direction. ಒಂದು towards A ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು towards C ಇದೆ. They are not equal. But vector DA as well as CB, vector D and vector B observe ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ they have the same magnitude as well as same direction. They have the same magnitude as well as same direction. Hence, and the answer is vector B as well as vector D. Option B is the right answer. Option B. Here they represent equal vectors. And the next one, question number 5 nodana. Which of the following represent collinear but not equal vector? Which are collinear but not equal vectors? Equal vectors means here they have the same magnitude and same direction. Collinear means two or more vectors are said to be collinear if they are parallel to the same line. If they are parallel to the same line. And we have another condition we already discussed there. When two vectors are collinear means vector A and vector B are collinear means vector A can be represented as lambda into vector B. Suppose when they given in component form, vector A is equal to A1 into I cap plus A2 into J cap plus A3 into K cap and vector B is equal to B1 into I cap plus B2 into J cap plus B3 into K cap. When two vectors are collinear, it means corresponding scalar components are proportional. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದನ್ನ, corresponding scalar components are proportional. When vector A and vector B are collinear means their scalar components are proportional. It means A1 by B1 is equal to A2 by B2 is equal to A3 by B3. And I forgot one concept. When they given the component form, how to find the dot product and how to find the scalar, how to find the vector product. We'll discuss later there. Okay. Just observe here. When two vectors are collinear, corresponding scalar components are proportional. This is very important one. Just observe here. Question number 5 nodi. Which of the following represent collinear but not equal vectors? Just observe madi. Vector C as well as vector A, they have the same magnitude but they are in opposite direction, but they are parallel to the same line. Nodi, if I line draw ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇವೆರಡು ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಟು ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಲೈನ್, ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕೊಲಿನಿಯರ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ದ ಕೊಲಿನಿಯರ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ಇಫ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಡಿ ಇ ಎಫ್ ಈಸ್ a regular hexagon, then vector AD plus vector EB plus vector FC is equal to. So here we have regular hexagon, point A, B, C, D, E and F. A to B, B to C, C to D and D to E, E to F and F to A. Vector AD ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, vector AD is derived from A to D, then FC, F to C, then EB, another one ಇದೆ, yeah, EB. Okay, now observe ಮಾಡಿ, FC and AB are parallel, FC and AB are parallel, and these diagonals divides the entire hexagon into 6 equilateral triangle. It means all sides are, what were the triangle? Suppose this is the point O, means a triangle AOB. This is an equilateral triangle. AB, this is also length of AB, this is also length of AB. We can express OB as AB or OA as AB. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ, these are parallel, right? So what they given a condition here? Vector AD plus vector EB plus vector FC. ಇದನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 2 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಬರಿಬೋದಲ್ವಾ? ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಫ್ ಎ, 2 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಫ್ ಇಂಟು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇ ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಟು ಎಫ್ ಎ, that is also parallel to CD, but they are in opposite direction, but these are in same direction. Next FC ನೋಡಿ, FC, the FC can be written as 2 times of vector AB. 2 is common in all the terms, take it outside. First one is vector BC plus vector FA plus vector AB. So this is equal to 2 times of what we are, just observe here. If you observe carefully, these two vectors where terminal point of the first vector and initial point of the second vectors are equal, they are coincident, then we can add these two vectors. So this becomes vector BC plus vector FB ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Vector FB, we can add these two vectors. Okay, then so if I rearrange this one, 2 times of FB plus vector BC, sorry, plus vector BC ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, terminal point of the first vector and initial point of second vectors are equal, they are coincident. So this can be written as 2 into vector FC ಬರೀಬೋದು ನೋಡಿ, 2 into vector FC. Vector FC and vector AB are parallel. What we written vector FC as 2 times of AB. So this is also right answer, but what the given options, they are in AB form. So this can be written as 2 into 2 times of AB. So this is equal to 4 times of vector AB. This is our answer. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? So option D is our right answer. 4 times of what? Vector AB. Take a pause and note on the things. Next we are moving to the question number 8. Question number 8 ನೋಡಿ, the unit vector in the direction of the sum of the vectors. They given 2 vectors. Vector, this is considered as vector A and second as vector B. Here we have to find the unit vector in the direction of sum of the 2 vectors. First we have to find the sum of these 2 vectors. Consider first vector as vector A is equal to I cap plus j cap plus k cap, and vector B is equal to, next one, 2i plus 3j plus 4k. Add these 2 vectors here, vector A plus B, go with the component form, I to I plus j to j plus k to k. So this becomes I to I is 1 plus 2 is 3 into I cap plus j component here 1 and here we have 3, this becomes 4 into j cap plus 5 into k cap. This is clear here? Okay. So I will consider this as here vector c. Here we have to find c cap, right? Unit vector in the direction of vector a plus b or in the direction of vector c. That becomes c cap is equal to vector c divided by magnitude of vector c. This is nothing but 3 into I cap plus 4 into j cap plus 5 into k cap. This is divided by magnitude of vector c. This is square root of 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square. This is becomes 3i plus 4j plus 5k divided by square root of, will not 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16 plus 5 square is there. So 9 plus 16, 25, 25 plus 25 is 50. Square root of 50 can be written as 5 root 2. Square root of 50 can be written as 5 root 2. 50 can be written as 25 into 2. Take 25 to the out of the square root, that becomes 5. Remaining is root 2. This is our answer. 3 into I cap plus 4 into j cap plus 5 into k cap divided by 5 root 2. Option A is the right answer. 3i plus 4j plus 5k divided by 5 root 2. This is the method to find the unit vector in the sum of the two vectors, in the direction of sum of the two vectors. Take a pause and note on. And the next question. Question number 11. If vector A is equal to I cap plus j cap plus k cap and vector B is equal to 4i plus 3j plus 4k and vector C is equal to I cap plus lambda into j cap plus beta into k cap are linearly dependent vectors. They given the condition here, linearly dependent vectors. They are linearly dependent vectors and magnitude of vector C is equal to square root of 3. Then we need to find the condition for alpha and beta or the values of alpha and beta. So linearly dependent antide. So we have very important words, linearly dependent, linearly independent. Suppose we have the two vectors, vector A, vector B and vector C antide, three vectors. Suppose these three vectors are linearly independent, there exists some alpha, beta and gamma, they are the scalars or constant. Then alpha into vector A plus beta into vector B plus gamma into vector C is equal to 0. When they are linearly independent, then alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 0. This is the condition. It means their scalar becomes 0. When they are linearly dependent, it means alpha into vector A plus beta into vector B plus gamma into vector C is equal to 0. It means alpha, beta and gamma, they are all need not be 0. They are not zeros here. Right? This is the condition. Linearly independent and linearly dependent. Here linearly dependent means here there is no necessity for all the constant. What we have here, scalar components, scalar alpha, beta and gamma, they are not equal to 0 or else here. So what they given the condition? Linearly dependent vectors. Linearly dependent means one can be expressed as some scalar multiple of other vector or sum of two vectors. Okay. So here C is linearly independent vector means C can be written as some alpha beta. I will already use the alpha and beta. I will take P into vector A plus Q into vector B. Very good. Where P and Q are some constant. Linearly dependent means we can express as the linear combination of the vectors. Any vector, you can go with any vector. A can be expressed as PC plus Q into B, or B can be expressed as P into C plus A, Q into A. We can express any vector as a linear combination of other vectors. That is called linearly dependent. So vector C I cap plus alpha into j plus beta into k cap is equal to, this is P times of I cap plus j cap plus k cap plus Q times of second one vector B 4 into I cap plus 3j plus 4k. Simplify the terms. This here I cap plus alpha into j cap plus beta into k cap is equal to multiply with p. Here multiply with p, then add this term, multiply with q here for this one, p plus 4 into q aಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, into I cap for first vector plus second one, multiply with j, p into j plus 3 into q into j, that becomes plus 3q into j, and the last term plus p plus 4 into q into k cap. This is simplification. First simplify ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And just observe here, when two vectors are equal means corresponding scalar components are equal. It means component to component, I to I, j to j and k to k are equal. I component ಏನಿದೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ನಮಗೆ 1 ಇದೆ, is equal to, here what we have, I component p plus 4q, and here j component is alpha, and in right hand side p plus 3q, and here beta is equal to p plus 4q. If you observe carefully here, in a first and last term, right hand sides are equal. It means obviously left hand side 1 is equal to beta, or what you have done here, beta is equal to what, 1. So beta is equal to 1 ಆಯ್ತು. And also they given another condition, magnitude of vector c is equal to root 3 ಇದೆ. So magnitude of vector c is equal to root 3. So what they given, c is equal to I cap plus alpha into j cap plus beta into k cap. So their magnitude becomes square root of 1 square plus alpha square plus beta square is equal to root 3. Squaring on both sides, this becomes here 1 square plus alpha square plus beta square is equal to 3. Square of root 3 again becomes 3. Beta is equal to, already we opened here 1. So this becomes 1 square plus alpha square plus 1 square is equal to 3. This is 1 square is 1. 1 square is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. This becomes here alpha square is equal to 3 minus 2. Alpha square is equal to 1. Alpha is equal to plus or minus 1. This is our answer. Therefore alpha is equal to plus or minus 1 and beta is equal to 1. Option D is our right answer. Option D is the right answer. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? Best is listen here. In this class we had a discussion on synopsis and problems on basic concept. Next class I am going to discuss about problems on product of two vectors in our next class. Thank you all.